Hey guys, I just want to continue talking to you about how to find reliable sources for your inquiry-based activities or research or just finding information in everyday life. So today, because a lot of people have access to social media, the internet, online newspapers, websites, encyclopedias, all that stuff, it is very easy to find information about any topic. But it's also very hard to find reliable and valid and true information about a topic. So, as I was saying, social media. I cannot tell you how many times I have heard from people, well, I read on Facebook, so it must be true. Anyone can post on Facebook. Anyone can post on Facebook and say that it's true, and that it's science, and that it's history. But the thing is, anyone can have an opinion, anyone can have a perspective, but reliable sources are backed up by evidence. So you need to be able to distinguish between someone just voicing their opinion about something and they haven't backed it up, or reliable evidence-based research. So here are some tips about how you can tell whether a source is valid or not. So first of all, is there an author and date listed on the article or book that you're reading? If it's just a post on somebody's blog, that may not be reliable. But, for example, if it's an article in a newspaper and it has a date and an author, it's more formal. They might be associated with a certain company or organization, and that is one clue. So remember, there have been newspaper articles and official books and pieces of writing put out that were later disproved or were later just turned out to be fake. But this is a hint that it is probably closer to a reliable source if there's an author and a date. The next thing, did this author show you evidence of their own sources? Did they mention where they researched? Where did they get their information? Where did they get their data? So often on the bottom of the page, there'll be a list of sources, people, books, different sources of data. So if the person who did the writing piece listed where they got their information, who they consulted, that's another tip that it might be a more reliable source. Perhaps it's about science and this person conducted their own experiments. That would also be good. Again, I'm not saying that this is guaranteed to be true. It could be that they made a mistake. It could be that they fudged some data. Who knows? But these are just some hints to kind of help you distinguish, could this be a reliable source? Kind of looks like it. So the next thing you can look for is the domain name. So usually I try and look for sites that end with .gov or .edu or .org, because those sites are very closely monitored by specific organizations. Now remember, there can always be corruption. So are these sites always accurate? No. But at least you kind of have a better chance rather than just someone's random blog. So the next thing that is a good tip on whether this is a reliable source is honestly the writing style. So if there are a ton of spelling and grammar mistakes all through it, some of you might not think that's that important. And you guys know, everybody makes mistakes. However, if you've done a formal piece of writing, there would be other people who edit it for you and confirm that you don't have any mistakes in it before it is ever published. So if there are a ton of spelling and grammar mistakes, that might mean that you just wrote this by yourself, didn't consult anyone, and then posted it online or wrote it in a book somewhere. So the writing style, is it well organized? Does it have good spelling? Does it have proper grammar? Those are all really good signs that this is a reliable source and it has had at least one, if not numerous editors that have gone through it to check it for accuracy. So those are some tips. Are they guaranteed, as I said? No, because often we think that something is true for a period of time and then it's later disproved. For example, people thought that the earth was flat for a long period of time until someone disproved it. So there are going to be misleading or untrue pieces of information on the internet or in books, but these tips might help you kind of sift through the sources and find hopefully the most reliable ones.